Hello and welcome. You're watching CXO TV Digital Disruptors. I am Kalpana Singhal, Editor-in-Chief CXO TV, and we have Mr. Ashish Bajaj, Chief Technology Officer, DSP Mutual Fund, as our guest today. Mr. Bajaj is a global technology executive with more than 23 years of experience with a proven record of conceiving, architecting, developing, and deploying innovative platforms for financial services, capital markets, and e-commerce from scratch, scaling and success across Europe, Middle East, and Asia. Expertise in technology innovation, strategic vision, implementation, execution, and operational excellence in both early stage and mature companies. Hello and welcome, Mr. Bajaj.
Hi, Kalpana. Thank you for inviting.
You have been with DSP Mutual Funds for 3.5 years now and have an extensive experience of 20 years. If you can tell us about your journey so far.
Fortunately, got an opportunity, to join during the transition. We have been hearing a lot about digital transformation, and transition since last 18 months, specifically during the difficult times where each one of us have been going through. The most important was global company, becoming an Indian entity, Indian acquisition, reacquisition happening, which typically means that, when you disconnect, from a very large player globally, and then you start again from scratch, building your own infrastructure, own engineering, own thought process, change in the culture, because now you would want to drive, something which is more closer to you than with your partners overseas. You need to tend to be extremely agile, keep learning from every instances, and that's where it's like growing your baby in front of you. So that's the time, in fact, when I joined, and it has been an exciting journey with a vision, to make DSP, and digital first AMC, and that is what the transition has been all about since last 3 years.
So DSP Mutual Funds did a major transition from legacy infrastructure to a microservice-based architecture a couple of years ago. What technology and business objectives, or I would say benefits, has it achieved till date?
So any change, would come with its own benefits. The very important aspect, of digital transformation, is to respond to certain changes, quickly. I think that is one of the key aspects. With this transition, 2 years back, definitely, we did not envisage COVID coming in front of us. But yes, there was a strategy, to become a digital first AMC, which typically means that, you need to move away, from your legacy processes, legacy infrastructure, I would say legacy mindsets, to cater to the next generation of customers around, to cater to next generation of investors around, to cater to a new data-oriented or data believers around. I think this transition actually helped to have infrastructure ready, for digital transformation. It was just not a transition, moving from a server, to serverless technologies, or using the best of the best what is available onto cloud. But it was also the stepping stone in terms of, how do we make sure, that people, machine integrate well? How do we make sure, that systems, they talk to each other, rather than working in silos. The second important aspect, which actually helped with this transition, of building microservices mesh, across multiple application infrastructure, is everyone, within the organization, started rethinking of how do we re-engineer the business processes. What can we do differently, than what we were doing earlier? Because now there is an opportunity, there is an advantage, of tech supporting that. Very important outcome, of this, I would say, transition is a data culture.
Sure. So how are you leveraging newish technologies like automation, AI, IoT, and data analytics to enhance the productivity and efficiency of the workforce?
Automation is something, which will keep continuing. There is no end to it. I remember, okay, 20 years back also, okay, there were companies, okay, where majority of the internal memos, okay, were automated. Today we are talking about an automation, okay, of a next level where can a transaction automatically happen? Okay, can a KYC can automatically be done? Can customers be automatically respond? Okay, can my floor be automatically cleaned? Everywhere, the enhanced pressure in terms of okay automation exists. What we have done, and I think that is where the industry's focus last couple of years was to bring in okay robotics as part of uh, making sure okay that mundane tasks okay are done by systems and tools okay rather than by human beings who can then freeing that time okay so that human intellect okay can do much better okay than what machines can't. uh, so we have been focusing in terms of making sure okay that how do we remove tasks from every employee's basket so that he or she can focus on its core ability okay to deliver better, have better efficiency. There are more than okay 15 bots as we speak okay working around the clock to make sure okay that systems automatically talk to each other. Uh, Emails are responded automatically. Can conversations also be led by automation? Okay, I think that is something okay, which the experiments are on. Most probably, it seems that okay, next a year or so, okay, we would be able to achieve some progress in that area too. Data analytics is now no more the way data MIS okay used to be happening in the past. Each one specifically okay from a management standpoint okay had hundreds of reports and thousands of data points to view at. I think now the focus is and will sharpen further okay from an insights perspective. Okay, people do not want noise in front of them. They would want to talk about subjects okay very crisply okay and to the point rather than looking at tons and tons of data around.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the next level of digital transformation okay would happen from a data analytics perspective. A very simple and easy use case okay if you see today our own COVID dashboard. There is every aspect of important information available there okay but they're dealing with crores and crores of data points. Not everything is actually shown to a user okay it's only what is relevant okay for the countrymen okay actually reflects there. I think on similar lines okay thought processes okay are there in the business. Support is there okay in the business in terms of making sure that data analytics okay doesn't remain churning of data but it actually gives actionable. I think the focus will continue being there.
So as you rightly said, like, today in a hyper connected world, people to people, then people to things, and things to things are getting connected in real time. And hence there is exponential data growth. So what are the burning issues organizations face with which they cannot unlock the true value, the potential of data?
I think companies which are not tech oriented, okay, and dependent on OEMs, okay, and partners, okay, to deliver solution. I think there is still a gap in terms of partners and OEM understanding the business. It can only be solved, okay, when partners and OEMs around they try and understand the business. Every business is unique, okay. Every functions data requirement would be unique even if they are in the same industry, even if they are very highly regulated. Every person okay has a different view to look at data. It's a classic example of whether it's a half glass empty okay or full. I think that's the problem with which the partners, large software companies around, product companies around okay can actually help to solve. Second is the business doesn't understand, okay, a lot of tech tools around. I think there has to be a focus, and I would say one of the key important I would say projects, okay, for technology leaders, okay, to make sure, okay, that business leaders, okay, understand tech to a very large extent, uh, to deliver better data analytics and definitely insights. Then forcing them, okay, with some tools, okay, with thousands of permutations and combinations, and expecting, okay, that the right permutation and combination would be selected, okay, to get insights out of data. I think once we are able to do that, we should be able to solve this problem at large.
Yeah, absolutely. So today, business is nothing but an ecosystem of ecosystems. Are there many data consumers? I mean, who are they? Are they able to best leverage the data for improving business performance? And then what is the dark data?
Uh, so, yes, everyone is leveraging data. Okay, there is no second thought about it. Okay, how much of recency effect, okay, it has on decision making? I think the answer to that is definitely not that good. I think that is something, okay, which all of us will have to overcome, irrespective of the function, okay, whether it's from sales, operations, investments, I would say e-commerce, okay, a newer kind of opportunities, okay, which keep coming in. Okay, we were not talking about data scientists about 5 to 6 years back. Okay, today I think every company needs them. There will be something else, okay, which would come 5 years down the line. What is more important is, okay, how do we keep our mind balanced to make sure, okay, that the recency effect, okay, the last reading does not create biases, okay, where the challenges become very, very difficult in terms of problem solving, in terms of actioning, even in terms of collaboration. Okay, it is very, very important that holistically, okay, we look at things, okay, rather than specific incidents. With regards to dark data, data is never dark. I think the question is, okay, whether you have the torch in the right direction or not. That is something, okay, which I think all of us, okay, are learning today, and over a period of some time, once we understand, okay, that the direction is not right, automatically, okay, dark data would actually become much better visible, and that's where, okay, the darkness, okay, would actually go away. So I don't think so, okay, there is again a very, very personal opinion. I don't think so, okay, there is any dark data. It's just that we do not have the right lenses, and as I mentioned, okay, the torch in place to overcome the darkness.
Yeah. So how is the mutual fund industry leveraging analytics and insights for predictive maintenance, revenue uplift, operational efficiency, risk and safety management? And what are the challenges and how these can be addressed?
As an industry, okay, if you see what the way it existed, the way it has grown since last a decade or so, okay, is humongous. The challenges, I mean, every AMC, okay, would have its own challenges. Cumulative, okay, as the industry grows, and specifically, okay, next few years, okay, when we expect rapid growth, I think scale would something, okay, which the industry, okay, cumulatively, okay, if managed well, can seriously benefit both the investors, okay, as well as the AMCs. When I talk about scale, okay, doesn't mean, okay, volume, okay, doesn't mean number of transactions. every aspect of right from the investment decision, okay, to returns to an investor, would need to be relooked, okay, from a startup mentality, which typically means that next 10 years, okay, we're going to have a different set of investors. Their demand is different. Their way of interacting is different. Their expectation is different, okay, because they are experiencing free Google services, they are experiencing Zomato delivering at their home, they are booking hotels, doing staycations, okay, very, very differently, okay, than what it was done. And specifically, okay, when youngsters in the startup community are becoming billionaires, their view of looking at investments is going to be different, okay, than what it existed. So when I'm talking about scale, it actually encompasses, okay, a different size of the industry than what it exists today. With size, okay, the dimension also changes, okay, as I mentioned. I think that is something, okay, which cumulatively, okay, as an industry, if we start thinking and implementing and experimenting certain thoughts, certain solutions, we should be able to overcome any challenge, even if the industry is going 100% CAGR year on year.
So what is the one takeaway, or I would say recommendation for the peer CIOs of your industry that you would give? I mean, the one thing that they must not do in the process of digital transformation.
A couple of things come to my mind rather than one. I think the entire executive participation is important for digital transformation. I think digital transformation, okay, should be considered, okay, as a change in the culture. It needs to be considered that it's going to impact every person within the organization, which typically means that you can't enforce changes. You need participation, you need consensus, you need acceptance coming in, okay, from across, because this is a very different method of doing business. Everything we today do, okay, needs to be rethink, okay, from a digital perspective. Digital doesn't mean, okay, just having a website, okay, or an app. It typically means that, okay, can I do things differently what I was doing earlier? Can I offload and start doing new things? And if yes, okay, how can it be digitized? Okay, just imagine, okay, if this entire vaccination program, such size and scale, okay, if this would have been entirely manual, you would have seen, okay, queues until now everywhere, rather than, okay, this size and scale of vaccination, okay, which has already been done. This is only possible, okay, when everyone had an access, okay, to vaccination center, okay, on their mobile, without even going there. So that is something, okay, which seriously needs to be thought about. Second is try to be as much as less ambitious in terms of your early deliveries. I think what happens typically, okay, with newer solutions getting implemented around, okay, we set the expectations very, very high. I think these are the two very, very important aspects, that we have equal participation, okay, coming in from the entire executive team, and making sure, okay, that commitments are not hyped, okay, with terminologies around, but with real deliverables.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with you. Like, digital economy and the fourth industrial revolution have been changing the business world significantly due to various technological innovations. And absolutely, I mean, therefore, these days organizations must now build a new digital skills of the pace of technology innovations that are always not easy due to multiple reasons. And uh, most business executives, want to understand the impact of these digital technologies on creating new revenue streams, acquiring new customer segments, or creating new distribution channels, improving operational efficiency by optimizing human interventions. So definitely, digital technologies have been impacting the whole business anatomy beyond the business processes.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Ashish. We really appreciate your time, and it was a complete pleasure interacting with you.
Same here, Kalpana. Thank you once again for inviting.
Thank you, everyone. Please follow hashtag CXO TV Digital Disruptors and stay tuned to our social media channels. Stay safe and take care.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.